This is an airsoft model made by D-Boyz. Runs about, I think I got about $180, but it is full metal and wood, so you do get a pretty good quality for your price. The only unfortunate thing though, the gun did not come this color. It was actually this color, if you want to zoom in on that. This god-awful cherry red. It was just, this gun was horrendous. Not very good for camouflage, unless you're fighting the Soviets. So I sanded this thing down, got as much of the red off as I could, and then just stained this thing. Looks much better. I'm sure most of you people who are gun enthusiasts will agree. Those of you who like pretty princess guns, GTFO. Anyways, an interesting thing is that most airsoft use an interior, like, hopper. This one actually uses the shell. You insert the BB at the back, load it into the gun, and shoot. I will say this though, do not take this thing to an actual skirmish unless it's a World War II reenactment. Otherwise, you will be screwed and you will probably be losing some shells. So let's go ahead and do some of that firing.
Okay.
Close that off.
Good.
So basically, this is the Mauser Karbine 98k. Very infamous rifle during World War II. It's the standard German infantry rifle, and also in some roles with a telescopic sight, also the sniper rifle. The effective range of this weapon was about 500 meters or 550 yards for the American audience, or about 1,650 feet. Pretty effective rifle. Uses a 7.92mm cartridge. A little bit odd, because considering most calibers of that one is usually a 7.62. The reason behind this, so that the enemy could not use these weapons with their own ammunition. But the British kind of got around that with the MP40, but that's another video. It was adopted in 1935 as the official German infantry rifle, used until the end of World War II, used in numerous other wars, including Vietnam and even currently in the Iraqi conflict and other current conflicts around the world. Very robust rifle. The cleaning rod was actually too short to reach the entire length of the barrel. The end of it was actually threaded to fit with two other cleaning rods to reach the entire barrel. Clip size, 5 rounds. It's a control feed, so unfortunately you cannot fix 6 rounds by doing a breech load. Most other bolt action rifles can actually do that, but this one cannot. But the advantage to that is, though, the catch guard on the bolt will actually last longer. The sight system, pretty rudimentary. Just sliding the hindsight forward, has a little tab. Slide forward, the further you slide it, the higher angle that you have, which allows you to shoot further. It's a little bit odd, a little bit hard to get used to, because it sits in front of the bolt rather than behind the bolt like most rifles, but you still get a pretty good aim off of it. Earlier models used a straight bolt rather than a curved bolt. The curved bolt actually allows to attach your scope, whereas the straight bolt does not. That was a huge problem on the Mosin Nagant. Weight was about 8.2 pounds. Overall length, about 43 inches. And, well, let's go to some shooting.
Mention how it's an airsoft.
And also, this particular gun is an airsoft.
Okay.
Okay, like I said earlier, and I stand corrected, you don't load them at the back, you actually load them at the front. It's not like my other airsoft Magnum, but that will be another review that I'll probably do eventually. But basically, just load them in one at a time, just like you probably some of you have seen in Call of Duty, specifically World at War, some of the earlier World War II ones. This airsoft rifle is actually capable of using what's called a strip clip, and actually putting these into a little piece of metal, sticking it into this little slot here, and then just pushing the shells into the chamber itself. Very useful for when you need to do a speed load. So, we're going to be shooting at that ugly person. Or zombie or walker, or whatever you want to call them. You know, I want to be politically correct here. I don't want to insult any, zombie activists. Okay, first time shooting this rifle, so I'm not sure how good I'll be. Slightly high, I believe. Bolt can be temperamental, so you kind of have to slam it in there. And unfortunately, a bad thing about this gun, I'm not sure if it's just mine or if it's all of them, but the last shell does not like to stick into the cartridge, so you kind of have to reload that if you actually want to fire it. Okay, that did not load. Sorry about that, some technical difficulties. Okay, let's see if we actually made any holes on this thing. Probably not, considering that it is plywood. I generally use a 5-gallon bucket as a target with some foam. Well, we did get this shot right here. Unfortunately, if this was a zombie, I would probably be dead. But then again, I would probably be dead considering this is an airsoft rifle. Not very effective. Trust me. People, if you're going into the zombie apocalypse, do not bring this gun. You might want to bring the, the real thing, but I wouldn't bring this one. Just saying. So, Fancy Sloth community, signing off.